Now as their colleague in the Senate, and I think he caught him by surprise too, South Carolina's own Senator Lindsey Graham. Senator, you are not, you are somebody who also spars with the president quite often and plays golf with him too.
Yeah.
Why do these senators who vote so often with the president, why are they retiring and taking on the president? What's your take?
Well, number one, I'm sad that Jeff Flake's leaving the Senate. He's a friend, he's smart, he's independent-minded. He will do hard things. He's a problem solver. I like Bob Corker, very smart guy. And I'm trying to work with President Trump. I like him. I've had my differences, but he is president. I want to help him where I can. And I can do two things at once. I can like these two guys and like the president, work with him. I love Senator McCain, but I really am here for a different reason. I'm here to fix the military, to cut taxes, repeal and replace Obamacare, and that's what I care about the most.
And you realize, of course, more than most, that if it was President Hillary Clinton who had the tone that Senator Flake and Senator Corker most would be attracted to, they would absolutely have a tenth of the power that they currently wield and the influence. Is that correct, Senator?
If you can repeal and replace Obamacare, I'll give you a lot of latitude on tone. If you can cut taxes, if you'll build up the military. President Trump has taken the gloves off when it comes to fighting ISIL. He's got the right strategy regarding North Korea and Iran, but could he do better? There are a lot of barking dogs in Washington, Mr. President. You don't have to kick every one of them. Sometimes you hurt yourself when you get in these fights and you go, you punch down, you wind up making stories that get in the way of your agenda. But I'm here to help where I can. I'm not going to abandon Jeff Flake or Bob Corker. I love John McCain, but Mr. President, I want to help you cut taxes and win a war we can't afford to lose. So let's all up our game. How about that?
How about this? If you want to do that, how much did today hurt? Within minutes of Senator Corker's comments, Senator Schumer found his way to the microphone and talked about how many untruths the president is known for, and how many shows did he just format for MSNBC and CNN with these comments. If you really had an objective of making things better, you do this stuff behind closed doors, Senator. Am I right?
Well, sometimes you take it out in the street. Donald Trump takes most of his fights out in the street, so sometimes people return it in a like kind. But we're not going to be successful or fail because of MSNBC or CNN. Most people don't watch those cable networks. Most people are working for a living. Most people don't know who Bob Corker and Jeff Flake are. Most people want President Trump to succeed. A lot of people don't like his tweeting and his punching down and kicking every bark dog. Mostly Republicans don't like that. But I'm going to be around him for the rest of his term, I hope. He's got a chance to do big things on immigration. I think Donald Trump has the best chance of fixing a broken immigration system, better than Obama and Bush. So let's do what we got sent up here to do.
Senator, you know what's interesting about you? You have a lot of pride, but you have your eye on the ball. In the past, I just asked our brain room, I said, can you give me an idea of some of the exchanges between Senator Lindsey Graham and the President of the United States? He says, Lindsey Graham, well, he's a disgrace. He's one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen. In my opinion,
is that my family or the president?
This is the president. This guy's a nut job. You came back just as hard on him. You didn't even commit to voting for him, but you golfed with him last weekend. You did not vote for him.
I did not vote for him. I voted for a guy I wouldn't know if he walked in the door. That's how bad it was. So here's the deal. He won, I lost. He beat me like a drum. He beat 16 Republicans. He beat the Clinton machine. And stay tuned to Fusion GPS. There's a lot more coming out about Russia regarding the Clintons than you'll ever believe. But I'm a bit humbled. I did lose. I don't like it when he picks on John McCain. I don't like it at all. As a matter of fact, I think John McCain can help the president a lot if he will reach out to John to rebuild the military that's badly broken and win a war we can't afford to lose. I love what he's doing in North Korea. He's telling this guy in North Korea, I'm not going to let you get a missile to hit our country with a nuclear weapon on top. If you go down that road, I'm going to wipe you out. He's telling the Iranians, this is a terrible deal. I want to get a better one. So I like what he's doing on foreign policy. He's got the best team I've seen in 20 years of being in Washington. So I want to help him fix a broken immigration system, cut taxes, and repeal and replace Obamacare with Graham Cassidy, which is a block grant to the states. That's why I'm here.
Because you have a job to do.
I got a job to do. I was elected to get something done. I want this president to be successful because God knows we need change in this country. And Donald Trump beat us all with a simple message. Let's make America great again and drain the swamp. And a lot of us up here need to do a little soul searching as to why we're so unpopular.
And Senator, explain this to me. What kind of world do we live in when Jimmy Carter understands Donald Trump better than most Republicans? And when he said Hillary Clinton lost because Barack Obama's policies failed, when the world has 93-year-old Jimmy Carter making more sense to some than Bob Corker and Senator Flake, what's going on?
Well, sometimes the further you get away from the problem, the better you can analyze it sometimes. I think it's pretty clear that President Trump causes a lot of his own problems, but the media has gone literally insane about this guy. General Kelly gave him some advice, excuse me, about how to talk to the widow of the fallen soldier. Maybe he didn't convey it the way he should have, but I know in Donald Trump's heart, he loves the military.
Absolutely.
I mean, he gets picked on about everything, and again, he brings a lot of it on to himself, but he's got an agenda that I buy into. I want to cut taxes. I think Jeff Flake does too.
Can you bring me inside the room today, Senator? And thanks for scrambling over here. You got a million things on your agenda.
Sorry.
I appreciate it. Senator, bring me inside the room today when you guys had the meeting with the Republicans on the Hill at the Senate. Tell me the tone. Tell me the president's demeanor after sparring with Bob Corker and his interaction with John McCain.
He picked John out a couple of times and said, John, I want to work with you to rebuild the military. I know it doesn't come across a lot, but I can tell you one thing, that Donald Trump admires John McCain's service no matter what he said in the past. He loves the military. President Trump does. It was upbeat. He was lighthearted. He was funny as hell. He picked different people out of the crowd, including John, and said very complimentary things. If you saw this guy, if this guy shows up a lot, his numbers are going to improve. He talked about his successes, what he wants to do. He talked about how his older brother convinced him not to smoke and use drugs, and he wants to deal with this opioid problem that's, a scourge to the country. He talked about cutting taxes. He talked about North Korea. He was relaxed. He was a man comfortable in his own skin, and I enjoyed it.
Right, and Senator, on top of that, opioids tomorrow, they're going to be talking about making it a national crisis, and it certainly is. Now, when you talk about the tax situation, you think that Senator Corker and Senator Flake, in their lame duck status and their outward disdain for President Trump, will hurt that process?
No, I think Jeff Flake and Bob Corker will do what they think is best for the country. They're going to be invaluable on immigration. I'm working with Jeff right now to find a fix to a broken immigration system. I think both of them are going to support healthy tax cuts. Both of them support repealing and replacing Obamacare with Graham Cassidy, a state block grant. I think they're going to be with the president and rebuilding the military. So the one thing I would say to both of these of my colleagues, I admire you, I like you, you've got guts. To the president, you won, you beat me, I want you to be successful. To all three of you, knock it off.
Lastly, lead me up to the next segment, the revelations about the dossier and who paid the DNC and the Hillary Clinton campaign, and the FBI was going to extend the payments after the election. Senator, you're a lawyer. Put this in perspective.
Just stay tuned, my friend. We're going to go, I said Sunday, we're going to go wherever the evidence takes us on Russia, and everybody thought that meant just Trump. Let me tell you, the evidence is going to take us where it takes us, and that's more than the Trump campaign. I've seen no evidence of collusion between the Russians and the Trump campaign. We'll keep looking, but there's a lot of activity with this Fusion GPS group and the Democratic Party, and Comey's reason for why he jumped into the Clinton investigation, there's another reason you're going to hear about that is pretty stunning to me. So just stay tuned.
We're going to maybe eventually we'll find out what happened, and Hillary Clinton will finally understand the answer to her book. And for all those people that Senator Graham ran over to get here on time, I take full responsibility, Senator. Thanks.
Pay the ticket.
I owe you a big favor.
All right, pal.
Thank you.
Take it off.
Senator Lindsey Graham, thanks. Coming up.